we're gonna reach up and pull it in. And the nice trick, I like to take one hand and pull, my other hand and push. You can see what my hands are doing. Pull and push. Hey guys, my name is Emily.
My name's Amanda. Welcome to our channel, Gale Force Twins.
Okay, the sun is so bright.
Sorry, I'm fine.
Sorry.
I'm with you.
We try not to keep these glasses on so you guys can see our eyeballs, but it's not always possible.
Okay, so today we are going to be teaching you how to fish with outriggers. You have been asking us for a long time to make this video, and we've been dying to get out there and do it. You may notice we are finally back on our boat.
Finally, guys have been commenting, asking why we haven't been on our boat, and let's just say she needed some major TLC.
But today we're going to go ahead and show you how to fish with outriggers. We're going to show you how we do it, but we're also going to give you some variations because there's no right or wrong way to do. Well, there is a wrong way, but there's more than one right way to do it. So we're going to show you several right ways to fish with outriggers. The first thing we're going to do is, because there's only two of us and we don't have autopilot, is I'm going to kind of go over what goes where in our spread, and then we're going to go ahead and put it out and show that to you as well. So the key to outrigger fishing, well, this entire video is really how to set up a trolling spread with outriggers. And we're fishing out of Hillsborough Inlet, so it's very, very common to fish with planers. So if I were fishing with planers, I would go ahead and I would be putting my long planer on my left side and my short planer on my right side. My long planer is probably going to be a number 4 or number 6 planer. My short planer or my right side planer is going to be a number 8 planer. Now, something else to remember with rigger fishing or just trolling in general, it's left, right when you're facing the motors, not left, right. So the left side is when you're facing the motors, we go left rigger, right rigger side. You could say left planer or long planer, right planer, right rigger, right short planer, you get the idea. But something that me and my sister have found really helpful when fishing is we do our spread the same every single time. So for us, our left long planer is always on the left rigger side. You can do it the other way, but just try to be consistent. It makes it easy for your captain, for your mate, for your friends to understand where everything goes and what's going on. Because if you're always changing it, it just makes it harder to work with people every time. Options if you don't want to fish with planers or don't have planers. It was very common on the charter boats in Key West to always fish a left flat, which was a skirted or naked ballyhoo, basically right behind the prop wash, maybe behind the second or third wave, 15 seconds back, but close. You want to see it, but you don't want it in the motor. And then on our right side, it was very common to fish a downrigger right here. Now, if you don't have a downrigger, you can use a diving bait, like an X-Rap, Rapala, a Nomad lure. There's a lot of options. Or you could fish, once again, a naked or skirted ballyhoo or some kind of lure. So
yeah, you could use lures. Lures are great.
Lures work great. Don't overthink it. These two, I would think that these two baits are the most versatile. You can fish planers, you can fish downriggers, you can fish skirted ballyhoo, naked ballyhoo lures. Experiment, but just try to be consistent at the same time. Next, we're going to move on to our outriggers. So what Emily and I do every single time. Our right side outrigger, we like to use a purple mylar with a bonita strip, but if I didn't have a bonita strip, I would be running some kind of feather or islander. My left side outrigger is going to be, we always do a blue and white, some kind of chugger, jethead islander lure, and that's what my left side outrigger is. And then the last lure I always put out is we put a feather on our long. Now the long is going the furthest back, all the way out, send it out and forget it. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and put our spread out.
Our rigger of choice, these are Tigress outriggers, guys. And these are the telescoping riggers, so what's cool about them is that if I wanted to bring them in and keep them condensed, I can, or I leave them long. I like to leave them long all the time unless I need to bring them in for something. But what we're gonna do is we're going to put our rigger out. We gotta watch this mono here not getting caught in our rods.
Yeah, there's our rod, and there's our rigger. Try not to get them crossed up with each other. There you go.
We're gonna put this out pretty much at a 90-degree angle to the T-top. And same thing on our left rigger side, pretty much put it at a 90-degree angle.
Looks pretty, and we fish our outriggers with one clip to keep things simple, but you can fish with 2 clips and rig this with 2 clips.
The first rods that I like to put out are my planer rods, and I'm gonna put my long out first. because you don't want to put your short out and then have your long have to pass your short. So I like to put my long, turn this clicker off, about 35 seconds back. That's for planers. If you're not doing planers, you guys are gonna have to experiment. I can sit here and make this video very, very boring and tell you about all the different ways to do this. But
I guess the other thing you would do would be a skirted ballyhoo.
I would do a ballyhoo, and if I did a ballyhoo, you just want it right past the bubbles, the prop wash.
Yeah, right past the prop wash. That's where I would put a skirted or naked ballyhoo. Emily's gonna go ahead and put her planer on and then count back. I put the planer right there. And count back around 30-35 seconds to set her long planer, but we also have a planer fishing video. If I weren't doing a planer, I would be doing a naked or skirted ballyhoo right behind the prop wash, right around there. You could see it skipping on the surface, really pretty. It's really useful for your captain or boat driver to drive the boat straight while the spread is going out. Don't be making turns or twists. Your mate's gonna get really mad at you. Short planer going out, or I would put a downrigger out, or I would go ahead and put another skirted or naked ballyhoo or a lure, or I would put an X-Wrap Rapala in chartreuse color. The next line that I like to put out is my long, and our long is almost always going to be a feather. It's good for tunas, any type of tuna feather, black, purple, red, those kinds of colors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come, you can either split the middle, which I personally don't like to do. I like to come on the side, hold my rod out. While Emily's putting the spread out, I like to go around 5 knots. It's a nice speed to get the spread out, and then once the spread is out, I'll probably bump up to 7 knots. I got my long shot, or my shotgun, set up, and I like to keep it in the seat back here. Now, the whole purpose of this video is outriggers. So what are we gonna do? Yeah, let me come up close.
We have, this is coming off of our rod. We have a snap swivel, a perfection loop, and our leader with our lure at the end. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the outrigger clip. You want that outrigger clip tight enough to where the lure itself won't pull on it, but if a fish eats it, that clip will pop. So come look at this. So you see this little knob right here. So just like anything lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, you might need pliers. Sometimes you can use your hand. To the left is loose, to the right is tight. So I'm gonna pull it open with my fingers just by grabbing behind here and popping it open. Okay? I'm gonna put my line in it. Close it. All right? I'm gonna check it and see if I like how tight it is. I'm just gonna pull on the line. That was a little bit on the tight side, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe I'll loosen it a little bit.
You basically want it just tight enough to hold on to your lures. Maybe if your lure catches some seaweed, it still holds on to it. But if a fish goes and bites it, see, we can tell that's too tight.
Yeah.
If a fish goes and bites it, it pops. We're just gonna slide that right in there, loosen it. There you go, that's probably good. Emily is going to
put the line in the water.
Put the line in the water.
I've got my rod in free spool. I have my clicker on so I don't backlash. And I'm going to let my rigger out as this line goes out. And Emily went ahead and turned her clicker off once she knew she was in the clear. Clicker on or off, whatever's easier for you at the end of the day. And she's gonna send that out 30 seconds. Personal preference, some people like to leave their rods that are in the riggers right underneath the rigger and the rod holder here, because the rigger's there, holding the line. Some people like to move them here. It's kind of up to you, get comfortable with your boat, what you like. Sometimes I'll even take them and I'll put them here. And that is me putting in free spool as I move it around, so that way it keeps it loose and it's easier to move. Amanda just bumped it up to 6-7 knots or so. We are officially fishing, we're trolling. Check it out, you can see we've got our planers bent over. That's the pressure from the planer diving down. So if you have a Rapala on, you'll see that effect. If you don't have a Rapala or just a lure, no big deal at all. Lures are great. We can use mahi lures. You can put tuna lures back there, guys. Whatever you want, experiment, have fun with it. Now, hopefully, I really hope we get a bite on one of the riggers so you guys can watch a rigger pop and see that demonstration. Let's see. Let's catch some fish. We're on. We're on. All right, guys, the rigger popped. It was the rigger. I'm so happy that happened. Amanda's slowing the boat down, but she's still staying in gear.
Right, so Emily, go ahead and take your clicker off so we can talk to our people. There we go. All right, so I'm still traveling at around 5 knots to keep the boat moving forward and keep the fish tight, but I slowed down from 7 knots. So we're still traveling at 5 knots, trying to stay tight. And what happened is this popped out of the clicker. We heard the scream.
The rigger?
This, whatever. This popped out of the rigger. We heard the scream. Did you lose him?
We lost it, yeah.
Aww. Well, let's try that again.
Now, just like a clothesline, a clothing line, I gotta get my rigger clip back to me. Oh, such a bummer that he came off. Sometimes it happens, guys. All right, got my clip back here. Gonna grab my line.
Let me get a close up.
Pop it into that clip. We good?
Uh-huh. Perfect.
Perfect. Got this in free spool. Gonna let it out. As I let this out, and we're going to hang out in this area because if that was a tuna, there's probably more around. So let's hang out, catch another tuna.
We just had a bite and we lost him. So what I'm doing is I took a mental note, okay, that happened in 300 feet of water. What I like to do is if I get a bite and I miss my fish, I like to circle back. So I'm making a whole circle back over the spot where we had that bite. If I hook up again, perfect, it worked. If I don't hook up, I'm gonna keep going, but I'm gonna remember, okay, that bite happened in 300 feet of water. How's that?
I knew I heard something.
What happened?
We're on.
What happened?
The clicker was off.
So guys, remember we told you to put your clickers on? Well, we almost got spooled because our clicker was off and we were looking, both of us were looking forward, no one was looking backwards. So we just had a bite on our shotgun rod or our way back or our super long, whatever you want to call it. It was really funny. What do you think you got, Emily?
My guess is a tuna, and not a very large tuna, because maybe a bonita or something, because we still have some line on here, and if it was something large, we would have been spooled.
I'm thinking, especially...
I just looked over and I was like, we're getting spooled!
I don't want to take the boat completely out of gear, because if I did that, all my lines would go slack and we'd be much more likely to tangle up. So I basically have the boat only going 4.8 knots. This way, Emily's still fighting her fish. The line stays tight so it doesn't get slack and we lose our fish, and at the same time, we can leave the rest of our spread out.
I almost have my fish at the boat, and holy cow, that thing was far. So what I'm doing, this fish, honestly, I can pretty much tell he's dead, or he's tired, or he's given up his fight. So this is gonna be pretty easy for me, but typically, you wanna follow your fish. Your fish darts to the right, you dart to the right. Your fish darts to the left, you dart to the left. And you want to try and not let them get tangled in your other lines that are out. It's the other benefit to staying in gear is you get a little bit more control. You want to stay ahead of the fish. You don't want the fish to be swimming faster than the boat.
Definitely not. So what I've done is this fish has been being dragged for a while, so he's pretty tired, but all I have right now is both motors are just in gear. That's it. It's just enough to keep all of our lines tight, stop anything from tangling, gives Emily control over her fish. But if her fish were very active and swimming up past the boat, that's the last thing you want. You want to make sure your fish stays behind the boat. You want to make sure you're ahead of your fish. Oh, I see it too. Wow. What do we have here? What did we drag? Here we go.
Yeah! We got a blackfin! There we go!
Like crazy.
The blackfins, you know what's funny is you were talking about the green water.
I was talking about the green water. I'm like, there's no way there's a blackfin out in this green water, but this guy decided to surprise us. Nice job. Nice job. Did you look at that? That was pretty cool. And guys, we were dragging this fish for so long. So, I mean, I'm surprised how lively he is. You wanna, well, he's not gonna live, so.
We're gonna keep him, we're gonna put him on ice.
Yeah, go ahead, throw him on the ice. Nice.
Blackfin tuna in the boat.
Here we go. So guys, just so you know, usually a tuna this size, I would definitely have let go. But tunas are actually, they don't release very well, and once their gills are harmed, they're definitely not gonna come back. This would have been shark food, so we're actually gonna cook it tonight for dinner. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick my fingers right between the gills, right down here, and I'm gonna pop that out. And that's how we're gonna bleed our tuna.
I'm so excited for dinner.
Yay, we have dinner. I'm gonna go ahead, when I get home, I'm gonna, what's it called? It's not sear. Marinate. I'm gonna marinate this in a bag with soy sauce and wasabi, and then we're gonna cover it in sesame seeds and sear it. It's gonna be really good.
Something I want to point out to you guys is that we're going 8 knots right now. However, I haven't changed my RPMs or the speed of the engines because we're going with the current.
Yes, we're going with the current, so when we go with the current, especially out here, we're gonna be almost 8-9 knots. And if we go against the current, our GPS will read 5-6 knots. Even though your RPMs on your motors are doing the same, both directions.
We got one on the planer.
We got one on the planer, guys. And with planer fishing, with the way we do it, we keep it in the rod holder and we crank. So we're fighting a planer and a fish, but don't worry, we have planers that you can remove. Can't wait to see what was that? Our long is on.
Our long is on. Uh-oh.
We're done.
What do we do?
We're done.
Hold on.
All right, I'll handle my fish, you handle yours. No.
You got it, Emily.
Oh yeah, no, he's on.
He's on, okay.
He's on, we're on.
We're on.
We're still on.
We're good.
I got a tuna of some sort. It's either bonito or a blackfin. And Emily, you're on as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, is that what is it, a weehoo?
No.
I'm telling you, this is a weird looking fish. It's a kingfish?
Baby barracuda.
Baby barracuda?
It's a baby barracuda.
Oh, it's a baby.
It's a baby. We'll show our subscribers. Bring it in the boat.
Whew. This guy is stinky. It's a barracuda. Can you hand me the de-hooker, Emily?
I don't know where it is.
It's in the bucket.
I'm doing a lot of things at one time. Where is it?
In the bucket underneath the seat.
Here we go. De-hooker.
Guys, I don't want to bring this cuda on the boat. He smells. They got teeth. All right. Here, I'll take the wheel, Emily. You cut your fish.
Thanks. I see him back there.
Okay. Whew, I'm winded.
You see him splashing back there?
Yeah, it's bouncing at the surface.
Let's check this out.
Bonita.
We've got a bonita.
A baby bonita.
We got some bait.
Look at that. Wow. Want to release this one? Let's send him home.
Yeah, let's send him home.
His gills are still good. He's not bleeding, so he's got a good chance at life. We hope. Well, yeah.
Ready?
Go.
There he is.
Yeah, he swam away.
He swam. He swam away
He
strong.
swam.
All right, let's try and get something in the rigger now.
If you guys want to know what we just caught that bonita and blackfin tuna on, it was this black and purple feather along with, this is probably around a 7.0J hook and 40-pound leader, super straightforward. And then over here, our barracuda was caught on a blue and white sea witch, followed by a black and blue boon squid. Yes!
It was
I'm so excited! I saw a splash.
A splash.
Yeah, like honestly, could it have been like a November mahi?
Maybe.
It could have been a tuna, I guess, but then
Could have been a bigger tuna.
I'm telling you, like I saw a big splash out of the corner of my eye.
So this thing was hungry.
So guys, this popped out of the rigger.
Yes.
It went pop. And basically all I'm doing is I'm gonna keep fighting it. I'm gonna follow my fish, try not to cross, let him run when he needs to run, reel when I can. We got our rigger fish.
Another benefit to keeping the motors in gear would be if you
can
have
double.
an inexperienced, well, you could double. But I was also going to say if you have an inexperienced angler, maybe you have a kid or someone that has a hard time keeping that line nice and taut, keeping that motor in gear will allow them some room for error if they struggle with keeping their line tight. While Amanda fights this fish, got to make sure our surroundings are good, there's no boats coming, we're good. While Amanda fights this fish, I have a story for you. Do you know what story I'm about to tell?
I don't know, but you gotta tell it quick because we're getting close.
All right, we were at a restaurant and I ordered a salad and Amanda wasn't that hungry, so she didn't order a salad. And
Well, you ordered a salad appetizer on top of your meal.
I ordered the salad appetizer with food and she just got
See it,
food.
we're here.
We're here.
We're here.
We're
Never
here.
mind. What is it? What is it? I don't know. What is
I
it?
think it's a big tuna.
What kind of tuna?
I don't know. It's a
It's a
big
bonita.
Let's take a look. Here's the big bonita.
Oh, it's a skippy.
It's a skippy.
Yes.
It's a skippy.
Skipjack tuna for
Skipjack
dinner
tuna.
tonight.
I got a skippy. We both realized it at the exact same time.
We caught our skipjack tuna. Now we're gonna feast.
That was really
horrible.
bad. Yeah, there we go.
In the rigger
In the rigger
on our blue and white island lure.
with the chugger
This
head.
is the bubbler, AKA, right?
Yep.
And we also like to add a little shimmer.
Shimmer, shimmer.
This is kind of old, it's got to get replaced. 7.0J hook, 40-pound fluoro leader, beautiful skipjack tuna.
Skipjack tunas
Hooked
have
right in the
these
corner of the mouth.
lines. That's how you know it's a skipjack. The skipjacks kind of look like bonitas when you first see them because they're similar in color, and I think their fins are a little similar too. See the smaller fins, bonitas have smaller fins too. Method number 2 for bleeding a tuna. Same exact thing, but instead use a knife. I like the knife method. It's pretty easy. The knife is nice and sharp.
There we go.
Breaking that gill slit down there. Not even the gill slit. I was gonna say, it's not really the gills, it's more of the throat that we're breaking.
Yeah, no, it's the throat.
It's definitely the throat.
Just trying not to get the boat a mess.
We just had a detail from Boathouse Marine.
We did.
Time to circle back. I hit mark when we hooked that fish up, so that way, if there's a school of them around, I'm gonna go find them again, hopefully catch another one. But, like I was trying to tell you my story.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So, we're at a restaurant. And I ordered salad and food and a meal. And Amanda got only got a meal.
Only got a
She
meal.
skipped the salad. And the waiter comes over and he brings my salad on 2 plates and gives 1 plate to her. And I was like, I didn't ask for 2 plates. And he's like, oh, I thought you were sharing. Guys, that is like the #1, don't do that
I think
to a
the
twin.
thing is that it happens to us all the time because we're twins.
Yes.
I didn't order a salad and people just assume, oh, well, there's twins, there's 2 of them, of course they're
Do
gonna
you
share.
think, have you ever, let me ask you this, have you ever gone to lunch with your friend and one of you orders a salad, one of you doesn't, and the waiter splits the salad?
Oh.
I can promise you that's probably never happened.
Never.
If I was with a friend, if I didn't have her with me, I would not be sharing that salad.
But he made
literally
us share a
just made us
salad.
share a salad.
It was very weird.
It was very disappointing. But it's part of being twins.
Oh well.
Still wouldn't trade it for the world.
Aw,
That was cute. It's true. All right, let's catch some more skippies.
Okay, so we have to put our lure back into the rigger. So we're gonna reach up and pull it in. And a nice trick, I like to take one hand and pull, my other hand and push. You can see what my hands are doing.
Pull and push.
Makes it real easy. Bring this to me. And another option, which is actually something me and Emily really want to do, we just haven't done it yet, is you can put a little clip right here, and this whole rigger, instead of being up top, which is high for us, it can be down here. So it's really close to you. And Tigris does have, I believe the outrigger clips come with the one here, but we just didn't have it in us to drill into the fiberglass. Yeah.
So we're up here, but it is nice to have it down here as well.
Put my lure over the side. And the way I like to do this, I'm gonna hold the rod in my right hand, grab my line in my left, can put my rod right here, turn my clicker on so I don't have to worry about it. It's in free spool with a clicker on. If you guys want to come up here real close, take a look. You guys see that? So the clip is facing towards the back of the boat. The line goes in and you get clipped, just like that. And then we'll send it out. Sometimes it needs a little help. All right, so I know we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and take the clicker off since my hands are free. Keep my thumb on it.
And there's the lure. There it goes.
There it goes. And then once I'm out at the end, which I am, I can just pick it up and let it back 30 seconds.
There goes the lure.
The last pointer I want to make is where to place your outriggers. So thankfully our outriggers, they're carbon fiber, which makes it super easy to rotate them with one hand if you need to.
They're really light. We can do it by ourselves.
They're super light. We can do it by ourselves, but we telescope ours out as far as they can. And then you want to make sure your mono is tight, of course. And there's more than one way to string your outriggers, so I'm sure I'm going to leave that up to you guys to...
Maybe in the next time we restring ours.
Maybe next time we restring ours, we'll do a video on that. But there's more than one way. You can have 1 clip, 2 clips. You can clip it up top. You can clip it down below. There's a lot of options. But we keep ours 90 degrees out from the T-top. And like we said, they're like around... This is the T-top. They're around like 30 degrees up. And we choose that height because we wanted them as high as they can be, but low enough that we can fit under every single bridge except on like a king tide. Then I can't fit under any bridges. But so we have them at around 30 degrees, but anywhere between I'd say 30 and like a 45-degree angle is good. You don't need them any higher than that. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much guys for watching. We hope you learned a lot. If there's anything else you want to see related to outriggers, go ahead, drop it in the comments. Thanks for following, and make sure you follow Gale Force Twins on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.